This vehicle has been sitting here for months. I mean, a month or so ago had ice all over it. This is a 1988 Mazda RX7. First production 1978. Has a 1.3 liter Winkle rotary engine. That's right, we got a twin rotor sewing machine. They called the 13B. In 1978, it first came out was naturally aspirated at about 146 horsepower. Then they came out with the turbocharged version, had 182 horsepower, and in 92 they came out with a sequential twin turbo with 276 horsepower. And that thing, it would just get, I mean, just like right now, it would just go. You know, it didn't have a lot of power, but it was fast. And these rotors, they start spinning up, you can't stop them. They just keep on going. You know, sky's the limit. We don't know what flavor we got in here. If we got turbocharged, or is it naturally aspirated? We don't know. The customer brought this vehicle in saying that the clutch went out 5 years ago and it's been sitting ever since. But I look at the registration, it says 2014 was the last time it was registered, which tells me it's been at least 10 years, you know, 10 plus years that this vehicle's been sitting. The clutch went out back then, clutch ain't working now. That's why they brought it in. Does the thing even run? We don't know. Let's get a look at it. Let's look around it, you know, just kind of take her in, see what we got. Oh no. Okay, let's get a look at this. This vehicle is solid. I mean, for, you know, the year that it is, it's got a little bit of rust up on the belt molding right here on both sides. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it is solid. It's solid. What's metal is solid. Yeah, even on the insides, I mean, it is a really solid rig for sure. And I believe that this thing was garage kept just by the fact that the condition of these stickers in the window. These things, you know, over many years sitting out in the sun, they start to go out. They start to deteriorate. So yeah, I think it was garage kept. It's in really good condition. There's not too many problems with it. I think that there's a small hole somewhere over here, I think, in the roof. But other than that, we got a little bit of deterioration, a little bit of rust on the top, and this top can be changed. The main part, the main body and everything, it's completely solid. It is said that when this vehicle came out, it was made to resemble the Porsche 944. I see it. I see it. In 1988 was the first year that this convertible top was available, in 1988. Let's get a look in here and see what the inside looks like. It's complete. Smells like a leather factory with a bucket of baby rabbits. It's actually pretty nice. Get in here. Check this out. All right. let's get a look in here. We got leather seats. Everything's factory audio unit. So look at this. It's your windshield wiper. Convertible top. Auto magical convertible top. It's got the full cluster. We got no power. It's your cruise control. Your turn signal. Look at this. Security! Security! You can call security to come help you out. Security! I need security. It has no back seat. It's just a two-seater. See if I can move this up. It's got some sort of cover right here. It's a little bit of something back here. Does not smell bad. Not really. Not at all. Let's pop on the hood. See what we got going on there. Okay, let's see what we got here. That's a sewing machine. 2-rotor sewing machine. It is the 13B. It looks complete, along with some extra spider webs. A little bit of corrosion going on here. It looks like it is the naturally aspirated flavor. Throttle's not stuck. We got our batteries definitely dead. We need a new battery. But belts don't look bad. Come on, get in here. Let's look at this. All right, there she is. A 13B injection. Like I said, the non-turboized flavor. Exhaust side. See down in there, those spark plugs. I mean, they don't look bad. They don't even look rusted from what I can see. Your primary and secondary. So this right here, that ain't right. Why is that loose? Yeah, it's definitely loose. You know, and the battery's dead. So here's what you want to do is you want to have a black positive cable and a black negative cable. That way they don't know what's what, and you try and leave these off, spin your battery around, and somebody tries to steal it, they burn it down instead. Everything looks complete here. Let's see what the clutch master cylinder looks like. Looks like it's full. It does not look bad. I didn't even look at what does a clutch look like? Is a clutch to the floor? Oh yeah, look at that. Uh-oh. I got a clutch pedal on the floor. I don't even know if I dare touch this one. Let's see if I can. Oh, look at that. It's just Sometimes you pump these enough and they start to come around, you know? But I mean, it's been so long. I got nothing, absolutely nothing. That slave cylinder is gone. Not getting any pushback at all. I mean, you just barely touch it and it goes to the floor. So yeah, that's gonna be our first problem. Probably clutch master cylinder and clutch slave cylinder. We got fluid, so we ain't leaking, but we ain't got no pressure. So we can still find out if this thing runs. So the thing is in gear. Let me try something else out and put my foot on the brake. That's not good. That's not good. Our brake pedal's going to the floor. Oh man. So I was gonna say, if we got the thing is in gear, if I slowly release this, will it stay on the hill? Okay, so we're not moving, I don't think. The vehicle's in gear. We got the brake off. This brake doesn't work. That's great. The brake pedal's just as bad as the clutch pedal almost. But we're in gear. We're not moving, which means the clutch is holding. So the clutch plate, disc, you know, that could all still be good. Just that the clutch master cylinder, that's gone out. And with the master cylinder along with the slave, we might as well just replace both. And then we don't know what's going on with this brake master cylinder. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same way. You know, those seals, let me pull this emergency brake. Those seals, you know, when they sit around long enough, they start to crack and they start to leak. They get hard inside there and they can't push any pressure. You know, everything just pushes past them. As you put your foot on the clutch or the brake, in this case, either way, those seals are like a little cup that pushes fluid down through the system. And there's probably nothing left of those cups. They're probably really hard and everything's just getting past them. A lot of times, if you just sit here and pump it for a while, it takes them a little while, but they'll come back. They'll come back around. This one, it may have been too long. We got 82,419 miles. So you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. 82,419 miles, that's not bad. Maybe it's 100. No, it would be 182,000. No, it's 082,419. So, should we even try and start this thing? Wonder what the fuel is like. Wonder what the fuel. Well, I don't want to pop the trunk. It's not my vehicle, but I want to pop the fuel tank and let's see what this thing looks like. Oh god, yeah, it's all Varsal. Oh god, yep. I don't know if you can see in there. It's a little bit of something sitting right. It's like rust or something sitting in there. Yeah, fuel ain't gonna be good. We can try and run it on this fuel. Why not? Let's just get a battery, put it in it and start cranking it over. So I don't think these things, they don't usually lock up. You know, the rotary engines have a centric shaft. See if I can turn this. Yeah, I can turn it by hand. Just a second ago, there it goes. Well, it did turn, so I can turn it back the other way. Here, let me set this down. See, I can turn it by hand a little bit at a time. Just pulling the belt, the thing's turning. So let's get a battery in here. Get this Duralast. Get out of there. Let's get a real battery. stick it in there and see what happens. See if this thing will even crank over. Yeah, and then what? Well, then we'll drive it. We don't need brakes, right? Let's see what happens. Let's see if the thing will even run. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is just going to spin over and nothing will happen. Rotary engines, they don't have a lot of compression, so they can flood really easily. They do take a lot of fuel getting them going, so they can flood real easy. If the thing floods, then it's flooded. You know, we're just gonna have to push the thing into the shop, pull the spark plugs out, try and do a deflood procedure. May have to drain the gas tank. Probably have to clean the gas tank out. You know, we'll see if the thing starts on this fuel. I mean, if it does, then we'll run it. Definitely going to do an oil change. And the reason that the customer brought the vehicle in was the clutch. So it's definitely going to need a lot more than just the clutch. And I need to get something to tighten this up. That looks like a little 8mm. That's what that looks like. So yeah, let me go get a battery and let's check it out. Okay, let's get this Mazda battery in here. There's a particular reason why I got this battery for this vehicle. It's the one the parts department gave me. This cable in this positive battery terminal is broken, so I'll just knock that on there. I can't tighten it. Let me see. Oh. This negative battery terminal end isn't any better. You know, whenever Mazda put turbochargers in these vehicles, it was the very first turbocharged production engine ever exported from Japan. That's right. The first one ever was RX7. Mazda. Mazda did that. This is turning, but I don't think it's tightening. I don't see any smoke. You don't see any smoke? I don't smell anything. Okay, here's the problem. I'm gonna have to crank this thing over. It's on a hill. I'm gonna have to put it in neutral because I ain't got a clutch. Maybe get some bricks or something put behind the rear wheels so it doesn't go rolling. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay. The emergency brake is holding. I have the thing in neutral. Emergency brake's holding. I got my wheel chuck here, just in case. So, let's see if this thing cranks over. It might not even crank. I am going to leave my microphone sit right here so we can hear it. Okay, she's not gonna start. So, gonna have to figure this out. Probably what we need to do is get it in the shop. Gonna have to push it in the shop. Gonna have to pull out the spark plugs. What else? So what I can try and do, you know what I'll try and do? I ain't got any true fuel I can stick down in there. What I can do is pour some, spray some ether in there. Should have looked at this in the first place. The oil looks good, you know. It smells old. It definitely old W30s in there. So what's that, power steering fluid? I ain't got any power steering fluid. And I didn't tighten this down like I said I was gonna. So yeah, I could spray some ether in there and let's just see if the thing even pops over. Let's do that. Okay, let's see if we can get this off. This thing is very stiff and it should be pliable. It's not that pliable. I know when they get older, they get stiff. And I definitely do not want to crack this thing because chances are they don't make them anymore. And that would definitely be my luck. See if I can pop this thing off without breaking it. So it's got a hose coming from underneath. It's got two hoses. Okay. This might not do anything, or it might blow up. So we're gonna find out. I'm gonna spray a bunch of this in there, like way too much. That's perfect. Okay, let's see if it'll crank. Yeah. Let's try that one more time. So she's kicking. She's definitely kicking. Which tells me the coils are good. I don't know if the spark plugs are good, but she's definitely kicking. So it's probably fuel. Let's try it one more time. Yeah. Nope. Okay, so we know that it kicks over with ether sprayed into the intake. So we're probably getting spark. Here's ignition coil with igniter right there. It's got these two right here. It's got these two right here. Primary, secondary ignition coils. I don't know a whole lot about this engine, to tell you the truth. 13B. When the production of the CX or the the RX7 ended in, what was it, 2002. I didn't start working on Mazdas till 2004, 2005. I don't know anything about the RX7. What I do know is RX8. And what I can tell you about the RX8 is there's a lot of engines that I've replaced in my life. A lot. I've replaced a lot of engines. But there is only one vehicle that I've replaced more engines than any other production vehicle known to man, and that is the RX8. I've replaced more engines in RX8 than I have in any other vehicle. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're getting fuel, and we can't, we know the fuel's bad. We know that we need a clutch. We need a clutch master. We're going to need a clutch master. We're probably going to need a slave cylinder. We're probably going to need a brake master cylinder. What does this look like? I mean, this looks the same as the clutch. But yeah. From what I can tell, looking down here, those spark plugs, they don't look like they're all rusted or anything. But then again, like I said, this vehicle looks to me like it was sitting in a garage. So, you know, new plugs, new fuel. Maybe we can flush out the fuel system. New master cylinder for the brake, because we ain't got no brakes. Clutch master cylinder, clutch slave cylinder. It's a place to start. So, and are those things even available? Nobody knows. Who knows? I guarantee you our parts department don't know. So this is that cracked piece right here. This thing's cracked. This don't do anything. It needs new cable ends. Yeah, so let me see. And this is hot too. I'll take this off. Disconnect both of these. So let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can come up with. We're gonna have to order parts. No telling, you know, when we're gonna get back to this. But I'll put this all. I'll try to put this all in one video. So I know it was at this point right here, it's been probably a week or two since I announced that I was going to do this vehicle, and probably already right now everybody's wondering where's the RX7, you know. So right now I'm going to order parts, or see if I can order parts. I need to get authorization from the customer and everything, find out what they want to do. They may say, hey, you know what, forget it, we're not going to put any money into it. Who knows what happens. But I will find out, and I will let you know. We order the parts, then we will wait until those parts come in, and then we'll put all these parts on and see what happens. So until then, there ain't no sense in pushing this thing in, not unless we get authorization to drain the gas tank, flush out the fuel injectors, and see what we can do. If we can do that, if we get authorization, drain the gas tank, clean it out, clean out the fuel line, clean out the fuel injectors. Does it even have a fuel filter? I think it probably should. 1988 should. Replace that fuel filter and get some fresh fuel flowing through here, and see if we can get the thing started at least. If we get authorization, we can do that while we're waiting for the other parts. Are these parts even available? Are we going to have to get them aftermarket? Are they even available at all? We'll find out, and I will let you know. Hey guys, we're back on this RX7. And for you, it's been a minute. For me, it's been months. So back whenever, or a little while ago, whenever you saw a guy trying to turn the engine over by hand and at the same time had the clutch in and the emergency brake, you know, the clutch engaged and emergency brake on. Yeah, that was months ago. That was in March, and it's the beginning of June now. So we had ordered parts. It took a while. It takes a while to find parts for this thing. You can't find parts for it anymore. I mean, I don't know why. You know, it's. But I'll show you what parts we have, and we are gonna have to get into the fuel system on this. So one of the parts that I did not try to sell the customer is the fuel pump. And you know, it's obvious that the fuel pump's probably bad, but I don't want to just sell a fuel pump to the customer saying, hey, you probably need a fuel pump. I would rather know for sure. So we're going to get into the fuel system in this. We need to drain the fuel out, clean the fuel tank the best we possibly can, and get that going. I do have a fuel filter for it, but we're gonna look at this fuel pump and see if it can be fixed or if it's pumping or not. We're probably gonna have to order another one. So then that's gonna probably be, you know, a couple months, who knows. But I also have let me show you what parts I have on this thing. Okay, this is a slave cylinder. This is, oh no wait, which one is this? This is a slave cylinder. Let me look for sure. Yeah, this is the slave cylinder. Okay, so I have a slave cylinder, master cylinder, clutch master cylinder, fuel filter, and brake master cylinder. So this brake master cylinder came from Advanced Auto Parts. This slave cylinder right here came from O'Reilly's. And believe it or not, these are genuine Mazda parts. This is a fuel filter, and this is the clutch master cylinder, and it's got a reservoir on it too, right there. So it's kind of weird that you can find a genuine Mazda clutch master cylinder, but you cannot find a genuine Mazda slave cylinder. They're just they don't make them anymore. So they don't make the slave cylinders anymore. They don't make the clutch or the brake master cylinder anymore. So you can't find them. So trying to, you know, look around and see if we can find the genuine Mazda parts is impossible. So that's why we got this part from O'Reilly's, this part from Advanced Auto Parts, and then we of course use the genuine Mazda parts whenever we can get them. And if you notice, there's none of these, you know, have to do with fuel. Oh wait, there's this right here too. This is a fuel filter. It's been sitting on my toolbox for months waiting to, not fuel filter, oil filter, so to do an oil change. So we're going to do an oil change on it too when we get it going. But we don't even know if the fuel injectors are working or not. We don't know if what's going on with the fuel pump. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start on the fuel pump, and we need to get behind this seat right here. You need to get into here and take this off. I don't know how much of a pain that's going to be. We need to get to the fuel pump and get that out and drain out all that bad gas. We're going to get all that bad gas out of there. Hopefully it's not too bad in there and we can just clean it out. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out how bad it is. It's going to smell. It's going to smell the whole shop up, you know, for sure. But I think that's where we're going to start. So I'll start tearing that apart and figuring out how to tear it apart, because I've never taken one of these things apart before. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it takes. And so yeah, I'll start getting into it, and let's see what happens. So let's see what we can find. So like I said, I don't know a whole bunch about this, and you might be surprised, but even being a Mazda dealer, we don't have a service manual for this vehicle. So yeah, it's gone. Back in the day, dealerships had extensive libraries for all of the service manuals, and our library has pretty much disappeared. Well, this is where the spare tire is. Spare tire's in here. Yeah. So the best way to find out how to work on a vehicle, if you're working on your vehicle, you don't, like, I don't know where the, I need wiring schematics or something like that, then there is a place you can go. You can download the actual service manual that was made for your vehicle, the same manual that the dealership technicians use. And that's what I did with this vehicle. And if you go to EMANUALONLINE and look up your vehicle, you can download the actual service manual for your vehicle, so you have all that information. Let's check the trunk. This is the exact same service manual that the professional automotive technicians use at the dealership. These service manuals have module locations, troubleshooting guides, wiring schematics, even diagnostic flowcharts. It is the exact service manual that professional automotive technicians used at the dealership. And they don't just have service manuals for cars. They got service manuals for trucks, motorcycles. They got engine building manuals, construction, if you're working on construction equipment, agriculture, dishwashers, washing machines, dryers. Yeah, you can get a service manual to show you how to replace the motherboard on your Samsung dryer if you want. They have it all. All right, there is a lot of stuff in this trunk. This looks like the cover for the, whenever you have the top down and you want to put a cover over it in the back. That's pretty cool. Looks like they have a car cover here too. It looks like mice have been in here. That's nice. Got some kind of tow cable. Ooh, yeah. Here is the cover. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. If you're looking for the fuel pump access right here. So if you go to EMANUALONLINE and download the service manual for your vehicle until the end of June, I can get you 22% off. Just type in Foreman 22 and that will get you a discount. That's a discount code for 22% off. So check it out. Let's see, we got a couple access holes here. Let's take them both off and see. Well, take this one off first because it looks easier. This is what we're looking at in here. It's kind of nasty. There's the mouse nest right here. Hello, hello little buddy. Anybody home? Oh my God, it goes into this thing. I'm not gonna mess with that, at least not right now. We got an access cover here, and we got an access cover here. Let's take this one off and see what we can find. See if I can get these out. Hopefully this one is it. Probably not. Nope. So this is the fuel inlet from the fuel tank inlet, which is right over here. So it's got to be that other one. So let's take the other one off. Let's see what we can find. So a while back, whenever all these tools started disappearing from my stalls, somebody took the small Phillips screwdrivers that I had. I don't know why. So this is all I got. Let's see if I can get this off. Yep, that worked. Just could not fit my drill in there. Come on. Yeah, that is it. Wow, okay. We got a bunch of little Phillips screwdrivers, Phillips screws. Let's see if there's got to be a disconnect for this pump. So there's no disconnect here. Let me get this thing off of here. We gotta pull the whole trim out just to get that. Maybe I can reach back here and not find anything alive and disconnect. Let me see if I can figure out how to get this open. I found it. Get out of there, Fuzzy. So I was just trying to find this clip right here, or this clip remover tool, because I have to take this thing off. And Fuzzy's just trying to help. So didn't want to have to do all this. See if I can just peel this thing back a little bit and get to the connector to that fuel pump, so we can pull the fuel pump out. I'm sure it's probably gonna have to be replaced, but I don't know. I'm just, you know, hopeful that maybe it's working. I don't know. I just want to make sure before I just try and sell more stuff to the customer, because I'm sure they're probably going to have to buy more stuff. I can't imagine, you know, replacing a fuel pump because it's not working and then having to replace injectors, or who knows. Okay, there is a connector back here. You know, since it's showing you, I'm just disconnecting it. Okay, that's it. That's all I need. That's that connector right there. So I can get this thing out of the way. And that is what we're looking at right there. These don't look too old. So somebody's been in here. Don't know when though. So these are screw clamps. These are not factory, because factory clamps would be spring clamps, not screw clamps. So I'm gonna take these off and try and remember which one is which. One is the pressure line, the other is return. And then I got all these Phillips screw heads, screws I need to get out. They're bolts, Phillips head bolts, and hopefully I don't strip them out. So it's not like I got a lot of room here to get this in. No. So I have to figure something else out. Even if I pull this down, the body, it's just getting hung up on everything. Anyway, there it is, the body. It's in the way. So even with this trim piece out, we still don't have a lot of room. So let me see if I can get these off and get this out and see what we can see. So this does not look very good. It is all rusted in the bottom of that. Yeah, I'm going to clean this out the best I can. It's not exactly the right way to clean it out. So what really needs to happen is the the tank needs to come out, and we need to put some chemical in there and try and clean it out. We're not going to do all that. We're not going to charge a customer for all that. This is the pump. This thing is, oh man, it's bad. It's nasty. I don't know if this sending unit works. My guess is it probably doesn't. Yeah, everything on this thing, I mean, you know, it looks like it came from the bottom of the ocean, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna mess with this some and see if I can get it working. I doubt it, you know, but if I can, you know, I mean, this sock it's just oh my god, yeah. Yeah, it's probably going to need a new pump, you know. I kind of figured that. I was hoping it would be in a lot better condition. It smells really bad, you know, but that doesn't help. So I'm going to get a barrel and start pumping this nasty stuff out of there. So I'm going to stick a electronical pump down in there, supply power to it from a battery, and pump out all of that stuff into a barrel, so we can dispose of it properly later on. And then I'll attempt to clean all this out, and then I will mess with the pump a little bit and see if I can get that thing going. If not, we're dead in the water with this, but at least we know. So I'll run some tests on that pump. And then after that, we'll get to the clutch master cylinder, brake master cylinder, clutch slave cylinder, see if we can get at least some hydraulics going on this thing. That sucks. I really wanted to get this thing running already, but we just need to move on. So let me get a barrel and let's see how we can clean this thing out. All right, I am going to stick this floor jack underneath this pinch weld right here. Hopefully it'll fit, yeah. And I'm gonna raise the vehicle, the back of the vehicle on this passenger side. Try and move everything. Well, try and get all the gasoline to flow to the driver's side. So when we pump it out, we're pumping it all out. So I'm not gonna lift it up a whole bunch. Enough to get the tire off the ground. We'll see how that does. I may have to lift it up more. So there it is. We got the tire off the ground, and we got more fuel now on this side. So let's see, what am I gonna do? Get some of this junk out of the way here. Move all these tools over. And I got this pump right here. This is a pump from like a Mazda 3, CX-5, something like that. This is one of the pumps that was in the fuel pump recall. Yeah, so I mean, it still works. So I got it hooked up to this hose. I'm gonna stick that down into the murkiness. Ooh, yeah, I don't know. Kind of soft on the bottom there. And I got this barrel here. We have a bunch of these barrels that have bad fuel in them, contamination in the fuel, water and fuel, diesel and fuel, DEF fluid. Yeah, people sometimes they pump their DEF fluid into their gas tank, and just in case you're curious about that, it doesn't work. DEF fluid is a diesel exhaust fluid for diesel trucks. Yeah, filling your gas tank with, you know, 8 gallons of DEF fluid, it won't run on that. Believe it or not, it won't run. I'm gonna get a battery. Let me see if I can find a battery. All right, I have this battery right here, which came out of a CX-90 that was on a lot. I think the battery's still good. They wanted to replace it for the customer, which, you know, I'm fine with that. They want to buy a new battery, but I think it may be good enough for what we have. Hopefully it's got a charge on it. Let's put the positive end on first. Let's see, I got this quality battery clamp right here. Just this best battery clamp in the world. Kind of expensive battery clamp, but I mean, you know, you want a good one. And then let's see if this thing even works. Yeah, it's coming on. What else? I got this thing. Hold this place. Come on, turn on. Yeah, it's going. Let's see. Ah, it smells so bad. Oh yeah, it's spraying really good. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's spraying that nasty stuff out of there. So let's let this thing drain down. Yep, I can hear it pumping. It's pumping right off the bottom. It's pumping that nasty stuff. Oh yeah, there's some nasty stuff in there. I wonder how this pump is gonna hold up, pumping that junk out. Of course, the more I move this around, the more it brings the junk up. I don't even know if I can get my hand in this hole. Maybe I can. They like to make these edges like super sharp. So when you stick your hand in there, it just cuts your arm. So my hand can probably fit, but I probably can't fit much of my arm down in there. And we need to get down in there and like clean it out. Yeah, it's still going. So let this drain and then we will see what comes next. Okay, it looks like we stopped. We stopped dead in the water, or should I say dead in the fuel. This got some junk caught up inside there. You can see it. Just gonna try and spray it out with brake clean. So I guess probably not a good idea to stick this thing all the way down to the bottom. This pump is a little bit hot. It's not that hot. Let's see if I can start this again. I just won't put it all the way to the bottom. It picked up a bunch of sediment. There's a bunch of sediment in the bottom. Yeah, I mean, it's going. Well, God, okay, let's try not to get everything tangled here. Get on there. Is it pumping? Yeah, it's pumping. It's pumping really good right now. So it still works. But I need to keep it off the bottom. Yet I need to keep it submerged. So we'll see how that goes. All right, take a look at this. This is as far as I can drain it. And I don't know if you can see in there, it is a lot of nasty in the bottom. It's just caked on rust everywhere. It's getting stuck in a pump. Yeah, this tank has seen better days, that's for sure. So this doesn't happen with the new plastic tanks. So this thing's gonna have to come out. Most definitely, you know, I can't imagine putting a brand new pump in there and expecting it to work with all that crud in the bottom. It's gonna have to be cleaned out or it's gonna have to be replaced. So I'm gonna have to look into that and see what's going on. In the meantime, I'm gonna test this pump over here. So I don't think this pump's gonna work either. This is our positive, goes to this bolt right here, which is a black wire, black with white stripe is what it looks like. And then we got this other black wire right here going to ground right there. And the ground on this is grounded back here. So our black with white and black wire provide power and ground to those two right there, and see if this pump comes on. It's probably not gonna happen, but I'll try it, and if it works, I'll show you, and we'll just clean it up. I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. I really wouldn't trust it. But I'll check it out anyway, and then I'll get a price for a pump. On a pump, I'll probably get this entire sending unit, this whole thing, if possible. I don't even know if they're available. I don't know if we'll be able to find one, where we'll get one from. Make some makeshift fuel pump thing, aftermarket, you know, high performance. I don't know, buy it from Summit Racing. I don't know. We'll find out. And the same thing with the tank. You know, can that be cleaned out? Do we have somebody? Can people do that anymore? They used to have radiator shops that would clean gas tanks. You don't even see those around anymore. They're kind of like machine shops. They're hard to find. You find speed shops, but not machine shops. You know, just regular old everyday person work. You know. Anyway. Yeah. So let me find out what we can do, and we'll just move on. Okay, I have my power probe here. I'm going to hook it to this battery. We have power. 12.2 volts. This, which one was it? Okay, so the negative, or the positive, is the black with the white stripe, and the negative is the black. So I'm going to hook the ground from the power probe to the pessimistic wire, and I'm going to hit the positive to the optimistic wire. I have nothing. I'm supplying power and ground. Thing is not working. Let me see if I can do some adjusting. No, it's not working at all. I don't hear anything going. That green light that you see right there, that means that we are getting a connection. If I took the negative off, see, the green light went away. So hooking the green light to the SAD cable. Yeah, and it's supplying at least 8 volts in there, and I'm not getting anything. So this pump is bad too. So let me talk to the parts department and see if there's anything available, and then we'll just move on. Okay, good news. This battery still works, at least for what I need it for. So that's good. As far as the fuel pump, and the tank and all that stuff, I got the parts department working on it. I'm gonna get a price on replacing the tank, and also try and get a price of, find out if somebody around here actually cleans gas tanks. So, I mean, we could take this tank out, we could put a bunch of junk in it and try and clean it out that way. It's possible, you know, we could do that. Or we could just send it to somebody that they can clean it out professionally, and pressure test it and do whatever. Why won't this lid go on? Are you serious? Get on there. This stuff stinks. So we are going to move on to the next thing. Before I try and sell fuel pumps and tanks and stuff to that to the customer, I'm gonna make sure that we can get the brakes and the clutch and everything working, which is other stuff that I sold to them, because it just wouldn't be right. So I'm gonna get onto that, put this thing on the lift. We've never seen underneath this thing yet. So let's get on the lift and look. Let's just look at it. Let's do that right now. So look at this. That wasn't there before. That's new. So if you remember, I was telling you when this vehicle first showed up, I mean, it was sitting out there, it was towed in, and I mean, there was icicles on it, you know, it was freezing. It's freezing cold. Now it's sitting out in the hot sun, and this thing is shrinking, and that's what they do. They shrink, and then they start tearing at the seam. So that's sad, but I mean, this thing needed a new top anyway. And no, I am definitely not going to try and open that top, because it might not open all the way, it might never close. So yeah, I think that what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the master cylinder. Wow, this thing, okay, it's got a proportioning valve sitting right there. We got a line coming off of this side, we got a line coming off of that side, we got a line coming off the bottom. Great. Hopefully, we need to check and make sure that the master cylinder that we have is the right one first. But I'll start with a brake master cylinder. I think that will be easier. We're probably gonna flush the whole system too. I didn't sell a flush to the customer, but I have a bunch of brake fluid from flushes that is brand new, and I'm just gonna use that and flush it out. Of course, we need to get the master cylinder on there first. That's what I'm gonna do. Get the master cylinder on, and I'm gonna flush it and use that to bleed it. First, let's get this thing up in the air. Let's take a look at it from underneath. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rust under here, but it's not that bad, you know, considering the age and stuff. This tank, it doesn't look like it's going to be that hard to pull out, so that's a good thing. There's a drain in the bottom of this tank, so I mean, look at this. Get over here. Look at this. Right there. There is a drain. That's a drain plug at the bottom of the gas tank. We could have just drained it. What are we doing? Why didn't somebody tell me that? That's nice. So yeah, I mean, it looks like, I guess, what you would expect, you know, for a non-northern vehicle. It's not bad. Not bad at all. It's got a pretty good, let me get another light. My light's going out. All right, we have an oil leak. It's, I don't know, I mean, not that bad, but it ain't good. There's just oil and stuff all over the place here. And where is the slave cylinder? Slave cylinder is way up there, so we're gonna have to get the slave cylinder from the top. Look at the starter. Oh, look at this. It's a fuel pump. Our fuel filter hooked on with a bunch of zip ties. Did I work on this before? Wow, I mean, look at this hanging down. We got zip ties holding the whole thing up. We're gonna be replacing that. Of course, ain't no sense in replacing it right now. But yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of rust, but it doesn't have a lot of rust, if you know what I mean. All right, so these bleeder valves, it's got a nice cover on it. That looks nice. This one, yeah, there's a cover. Bleeder valve looks really nice. That's good. What about the back? Oh, I can't even get to the back. Oh, I'm gonna have to pull the... So that's weird. It's got a bleeder valve, it's on the bottom. Oh, how does that make any sense? That's counterintuitive. There's one too. It's got a bleeder valve cover, so that's good. The bleeder valves won't be all rusted and stuck and everything, but why are the bleeder valves on the bottom? Oops, I just knocked that one out. I gotta find that. So, yeah, bleeder valves on the bottom. How do you get air out of the bottom unless there's a bleeder valve on top too? I'll have to take these wheels off. figure out how this works. Pop that off. Okay, let's start messing with the master cylinder. Let's make sure that it's the right one, and then we'll start pulling that off. Okay, this looks right. This is the master cylinder for the brakes. So this goes to the rear brakes. Comes off of here, goes to a proportioning valve for the rear brakes. This is for the front. That right there, and this right here. This is an open chamber right here. So whatever pressure comes here, comes here. This goes to the front. This goes to the front. This is rear. Did I say this is rear? This is rear. Goes to proportioning valve for the rear. These two go to the front left and right, or left and right, I don't know. Anyway, so we need to start taking this thing off. So let me get a wrench and start pulling this thing apart. And let's see if we can get it out. All right, I'm gonna get this connector off of here. Come on, get off of there. Push it and pull it. Push it and pull it. Come on, what is going on? I can't even see it. I know y'all can't see it because it was just supposed to come right off, you know. It wasn't supposed to be a big deal. Just bring it off, take it off, get it off of there. What is going on with it? Why does it not want to come loose? How is it hanging on? Let's see if I can get this off. Okay, one thing that I found out is the connector on the new one is different. So I'm gonna cut this wire, just like that. I'm gonna let it sit, and we'll get that off later, and I'll have to splice it onto the new one. The new connector, or the connector on the new one, is different and will not plug into that. I need to get a bunch of rags. Rags? What do you need some rags for? Well, it's gonna be dripping brake fluid down here. I don't want it to get brake fluid all over everything. Brake fluid is caustic. Brake fluid will make paint come off, and it's not good to get brake fluid in, you know, your wiring and your, you know, your frame, your body. Definitely don't want to get it on paint. So let's see if we can break these loose. Oh yeah, that one is coming off. What about this one down here? This is a 10 millimeter wrench, regular old 10 millimeter wrench. And I mean, they don't look rusty, so I'm not too worried about them, these ends grabbing onto the line and twisting them. At least not right now. And then this bottom one, oh, let's see if I can even get the wrench in here. It's not a lot of room to swing a wrench. Come on, get in there. Hopefully it's on there. That one looks like it's wanting to twist. Let's turn it a little bit more, see if it keeps twisting. No, it's coming loose. Okay. Thank God. So the last thing we need is to have to replace brake lines. I mean, we're already running into enough stuff with this vehicle. So this one is coming very slow. Let me see if I can get these off. That way we can get brake fluid dripping all over the place while I attempt to try and take the lower one off, which is going to take some time. That way I get brake fluid all over my hands, all over the vehicle. And you know, whenever you work on vehicles, you get a lot of little cuts and scrapes and stuff on your hands. And then if you just put brake fluid into those cuts, it really feels good. It really does. You should try it sometime. If you haven't done that, just try it. I mean, you will remember the experience. That's all I can say. You'll remember. Okay, that one came off. This one's coming out, no problem. I mean, it would be loose enough that I could grab it with my finger, but you got to be able to get your hand down in there to turn it, and it's barely turning. I can barely grab it. Come on, get out of there. It's coming. How long is this thing? I mean, come on, it should be off by now. How much longer? Okay, it's coming loose. Okay. So I got that one back. And of course this one would be easier to turn with my hand, but it's not ready to come off that easily yet. And I'm having to turn the wrench. Maybe I can get underneath it. Can I turn it? It's turning. Okay, I'll finish getting this off, and then I'll get some sockets to get those nuts off. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. It looks like the proportioning valve is in the way. I'm gonna have to move the proportioning valve. So you can see this. There is a bolt right there in the proportioning valve. I'm gonna have to loosen that. Wait, I may have been wrong about that. What are we doing? So this is a front brake line. Okay. So this line down here goes to the proportioning valve down there. This line here goes to the proportioning valve. That line on the bottom just goes to the left front. Anyway, I gotta get the proportioning valve loose and kind of move it out of the way so I can get to the nut that's underneath it way down here. I don't know if you can see that. Just so I can get the master cylinder off. So I'm gonna finish getting that line off down there. Move this proportioning valve, get those nuts off, pull this thing off, and let's see what happens. Okay, I got it out of there. It wasn't too bad to get out, but it's impossible to film taking these bolts off, these nuts off. Here is the master clutch, master cylinder, and look at what I found. So this is the slave cylinder right down there. It doesn't look like it'd be too bad, but oh my God, look what's connected to it. Look at this, where this rubber hose right there comes on. It is completely rusted up. It's this rubber hose that goes all the way to here. So yeah, I might look into replacing that. And of course we don't have that, and can we even get one? So I'm gonna look into that. Meanwhile, let's prep this. Here's the bracket. This bracket goes on after the master cylinder goes on, and then it holds the proportioning valve in place. So yeah, that's stupid. I got to put the master cylinder on, put this on, bolt the thing on, then I can bolt this to that. Yeah. So let's get the new master cylinder prepped so we can stick it on there. We're gonna go ahead and bench bleed it. And y'all may or may not have seen me do this before. So I've done it before. Bench bleeding a slave cylinder on a Miata. It was a Mazda Miata. Do it the same way. We're gonna do this right here, and probably gonna get a new bottle of brake fluid for that. Definitely not gonna use old brake fluid, you know, because that wouldn't work very good. It absorbs moisture. So I do have a. Let me show you. Let me show you what I got over here. So this. And all this junk that I have, wait, this looks like it's brand new. Yep, okay, I got it. I do have a brand new one. Brand new Mazda .3 brake fluid. This was bottle. It's not empty, but this is the cap that I use for, and you can see how it's completely falling apart because it's not meant to be put on the brake fluid. So this right here has been sitting around. If you have brake fluid, guys, sitting around that's with an open cap like that, do this to them. Yeah, just dump it out. It's no good. It is absorbing moisture. And what you want to do is keep moisture out of your brake system. And if you put that brake fluid in there, you're just putting moisture in, so you're causing issues. So I do have some brake fluid, and we're going to go ahead and bleed this master cylinder, but first I am going to let the parts department know about that brake line or clutch line or whatever, and see if they can find one. So let's get on to this. Okay, we are over here at the workbench vise. Had to unplug my fan. It is super hot over here. I have this. This is a nipple from the end of a bottle of like 80-90 weight or 75 W80. I think this may have been Mazda 75 W80. Need to get that out of there. So what I did is I took this thing, and you know, I didn't even check this. I think it's gonna work. No, it's not. It's not gonna work. Never mind. Okay, take two. So I have this. This nipple is from a bottle of 80-90 weight. And so it turns out I don't even know what I did with the other one. The 75 W80 Mazda one won't work. This one will work. So 80-90 weight. I went ahead and I cut the end down onto this thing. And it's so that I can put it in here, and you just cut it enough. You don't want to cut it too much. Cut it enough so that it'll stick in here, and you can screw it in, and it actually tightens down. It's not going to tighten down, you know, really tight. You just need it to seal. That's all. So that's what I did. I cut it down enough that it's actually starting to cut a little bit of threads in there when I stick it in there. So stick that on there for right now. I got this bottle of brake fluid, Mazda brake fluid, brand new. I need to get this off and try and get this whole top part off of there the best I can. Pull this off, get all of this off of the top. There's a little bit of plastic there. I don't like it, but I'm gonna have to live with it. So there it is. Put this on there, and this fits. So the 75 W80 Mazda one won't fit on here on this bottle. This fits, and it fits tight, and I got it on there really tight. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk around here, and this is that connector. As you can tell, it's a different connector, so we're gonna have to cut this off and splice in, you know, that other wire. So I'm gonna take the plug off of this side over here. See if you can even see this side. I don't know if y'all can see this. Hopefully y'all can. So take this lid off. And pop this off, move that out of the way, stick this on here, screw it on the best I can and hold it, and then apply pressure. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing brake fluid up into the master cylinder. And I don't know if y'all can see, you probably can't, but the rear of the master cylinder reservoir is starting to fill with fluid. So what that's doing is pushing all the air up. So no air, it just pushes all the air right out. So no pumping. We don't have to pump the master cylinder or anything like that. We're just gonna push this straight up in there, and now I'm gonna take it out. I get it about halfway full, so now it's starting to drain out the bottom onto my tools and stuff. I'm gonna put this on there. Hopefully that keeps it from draining too much. Any draining that it does is it's just gravity bleeding. Oops, come on, stay up, stay with me. So we're gonna go to this one right here. Do the same thing. Screw this on there, and then I need to hold this on the bottom because this is the same thing. So I'm gonna hold this so it doesn't push this out and fluid start going out of there. So I'm gonna start slowly squeezing this. And I can kind of see it bubbling up from the bottom, and it's filling the master cylinder reservoir. So I don't want to release pressure on this because I don't want it to suck air in. It's starting to drain out of the bottom, but hopefully you can see it. The fluid level is like right there. I'm going to put in as much as I possibly can. I don't really need to go any further. So turn this out like that. Starting to come out. I'll put this on there. Fill this up. Brand new brake fluid. Good enough. Put this lid on. Something like that. I guess that's on. I don't which way does it go? Okay. Hopefully we can get our machine hooked up to. I'm not sure if we have an adapter for that, but we will find out. Okay, so nothing on the bottom here. No. Let's get this on the vehicle. Okay, hopefully y'all can see this. Probably not. New master cylinder going in. I hope that rod, there's a rod in there. Of course there is. And I hope it fits. I got brake lines pushing up from the bottom. Yep, it's on there. Need to get this thing in place. Find the washers and the bolt and the nuts. I can't see nothing. Come on. What is going on here? How can I put this on? This is where we are with this. So that nut right there, it fell down and I couldn't find it. I looked all over the place, couldn't find it. I got a brand new nut, so it fits perfectly. got all this on, got all these things connected. This right here I spliced in, and I know that that doesn't look too good. A couple butt connectors, and just put just some tape over them, splice the thing in. The wire color does not matter, which wire goes where. It's just an on-off switch, so it doesn't really matter. So I got it in there, and I guess now we should start bleeding the brakes. Let's bleed the brakes. Let me get the brake flush machine, and we will attempt to bleed the brakes. I need to take the rear wheels off, but let's see if we can get some brakes in it first, and then we'll move on to the master cylinder. Well, a clutch master. Yeah, we'll go do the clutch master, see if that works with the slave. I mean, I don't want to take this off. This is going to be bad. That's thing's completely rusted. We need a new line. So I'm trying to talk to parts about that. So maybe we don't replace the slave today, but we can replace the master cylinder. That's not going to hurt, and we might be able to get the old slave to start working. Even if it does, I think I would recommend replacing the slave cylinder with a new one, because it's old. But first, let's flush the brakes. Let's get the brakes working, and let's see how that turns out. Boy, I tell you what, I had Vietnamese food for lunch, and whoo-wee, that hot sauce. I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to put that hot sauce on their food, you know, if they know what it is. I mean, oh, whew. But good, really good food. So where are we? What do we got going on here? I have this thing hooked up, and this is the exact same setup that I did on that Mazda Miata that we put the slave cylinder, the master cylinder, slave cylinder in. If you haven't seen that, you know, I'll put a link right up here. Go and check it out. We also did a timing belt on it in another episode. So yeah, check it out. What I'm gonna do is I got this thing filled with fluid. I got the hose, the air pressure hooked up to it. I am going to plug this thing in. Hopefully it doesn't explode. Hopefully it doesn't leak all over the place. Come on, get in there. Seriously? Now it wants to leak. Oh my God. But we don't have any pressure on it. No. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna turn the pressure up. We need at least 15 psi. We'll go a little more than 15 psi. Turn this on, see if it explodes. Hopefully not. Okay. So let's start bleeding the brakes. I'm gonna flush them and bleed them at the same time. Hopefully this works. We'll see. Let's go. I found there is a bleeder valve right here. So it's got a bleeder valve on the bottom and this one on the side. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's from it looks like it's coming from the top here, kind of angled down. Let me see if I can get this cover off. So yeah, the cover protected the very tip, but not the threads. It doesn't look bad. Let's see if I can crack this thing loose. It is a 8mm. First, what I need to do, I need to get this thing right here. I need to get some suction going in this right here. I need to turn this on. And pipe on there like that. See if I can crack it. Oh yeah, the thing, I mean, it was almost just like hand tied. It was so loose. Okay, so it's actually bleeding. Just gonna leave my wrench sitting right there. And I'm gonna watch this thing. So we need this to bleed down at least halfway. We need to get it getting bleeding a little bit more. So yeah, we need to get any air that might be in there out. We're just gonna go ahead and flush it. I mean, it might not be that bad, but rather than taking a chance, just gonna go ahead and flush the whole thing. I'm not charging the customer for a flush. I have the fluid, you know, I might as well do it. It's gonna be better for the vehicle anyway to get new fluid in there. So I'll just continue. I'm gonna go on with this one. I'll start with this one, then I'll move over here. That one looks about the same. Not bad. And then I'll do the front. I'll do the passenger side and then the driver's side, and we'll see how that works. We'll see if we got a pedal. I didn't even push a pedal. Didn't want to take a chance. Hindsight being 40-10 to the second power, carry the 9, round up to 5. I should have probably tried to sell a fuel pump to the customer from the beginning, you know, but I didn't know exactly, you know, what we were gonna find, and I sure as heck didn't expect to find a bunch of rust in the gas tank. We did, I don't know if I told you, we did find a gas tank, an OEM gas tank. Mazda still carries them, you know. Not very many left, but we did find one. Did find that hose for the slave cylinder, and Mazda had that too. And what Mazda didn't have is this setup. Mazda does not have this. This has been decommissioned, or whatever the heck you want to call it. This thing right here. Oh my God, what a mess. Yeah, so we found a aftermarket fuel pump that says it comes with a sending unit. I doubt it. I doubt that it does. Found this entire setup on eBay for, you know, about $500. Of course, it's used, but I mean, it's better than this one. So we are going to try and sell that one. I think that other one was coming from Advance Auto Parts, and we'll check it out. We'll try and sell it to the customer and letting them know that we don't know for a fact that it comes with this stuff. My guess that it probably does not. But once we get the parts in, we'll know for sure, and we'll go from there. And if we need to just put a pump on it and just leave the sending unit the way it is, and the customer's just gonna have to deal with not knowing how much fuel in their tank, then that's just what we'll have to do. This is a big fuel pump. I mean, I don't imagine a fuel pump being that big. It's probably gonna be something smaller. And it's supposed to come with this sock too. Of course, this ain't gonna matter if we stick it into that tank with all that rust. So they're gonna need a new tank. If they don't want to buy the new tank, then we'll give them an option to try and pull the tank out and try and clean it out. Don't know if that's gonna work. I'm sure that we can clean that thing. You know, it'll be a lot better than what it is right now, for sure. You know, but the longevity of it, I have no idea. So that is what we're doing right now. I'm going to let this thing go for a while, and hasn't moved much. I'm gonna add a little bit more pressure here. So I'm gonna let this go. This is gonna take a while, so I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna, like I said, I'll move to each caliper, and I'll flush them all out, and then I'll bring you back and see if we got a brake pedal. So let's see what happens. All right, we're here at the passenger front caliper, and so I got pressure on this thing. I got this thing loose. I don't have any fluid coming out of it at all. Absolutely nothing. So I kind of had the same thing in the back on the right rear. I just loosened this up a lot and it started coming out. On the left rear, I actually had to let it down and I pushed on the brake pedal with a pry bar. So I tried that with this, it's not working. So I'm gonna leave this, let's see, I'm gonna leave this loose. I'm gonna put this hose on it so it doesn't squirt all over the place. I'm going into this can right here. And then I'm gonna let it down. I'm gonna let it down and I'm going to put my foot on the brake and see if it starts spewing out fluid. So this is as much fluid as we've used for the rear. So I just need to get the front bled. So let me do that, see what happens. All right, here is where we are with this thing. I can't get the front to bleed. So I'm sitting here pumping the brakes and I'm looking at that reservoir there. The brake pedal is solid and I'm pushing it. So on the passenger side, when I got in here, I started pumping this. I felt it pop. I felt it pop, and then it started using the fluid that's in that reservoir over there. But it was only using it whenever I was pushing. I'd push and it would go down a little bit. Push, go down a little bit. And that's how I got the passenger side bled. Otherwise, fluid didn't want to come out, even with the pressure in the reservoir. This side, I have the bleeder open. I'm pushing the pedal all the way as hard as I can. And the pedals feel stiff. It's not going to the floor. I know you can't see that. But I'm not getting any fluid out of it. So I'm gonna see if I can crack the bleeder open a little bit more. You see where that thing is at? I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's not moving at all and I'm pushing on the pedal. So there's nothing coming out of that bleeder. So I'm gonna open it up some more and see if I can get fluid out of it. See if I can at least flush what's in there. The pedal feels good, but of course we got, you know, close to 20 PSI of pressure in it from that thing. So I'm just gonna continue on and see if I can get this side bled, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so you missed it, and I'm sorry that you missed it. This thing, I was pushing on it and it overflowed this cup. I got brake fluid all over the place. I used more brake fluid than I really wanted to. And so what happened was I opened that valve. I opened the valve all the way, took it off, and I looked and there was no fluid coming out. I put the valve on, but I left it really loose, so it was open a lot on that bleeder valve. I went in there, started pushing on the brake, pushing it, nothing's happening. This thing is not moving. It's way up above 3 right there, and it was not moving at all. And then I just pushed as hard as I could on the pedal, and I felt a pop, and the pedal went down. You know, it went down far, not to the floor, but it went far. And I thought, oh my God, I hope I didn't break a line. And so I just kept pumping because it on the other one, it wouldn't go unless I pumped it. So I kept pumping and thinking that, you know, I'm finally bleeding it maybe, or it's, you know, a line broke or something. Anyway, I finally stopped pumping, and the fluid kept going down, and it was getting towards the bottom. I had to shut the air off. I couldn't get the lift up high enough, you know, quick enough, so I got it up and I climbed under there, and this thing was overflowing all over the place. And I went ahead and I tightened the bleeder. So hopefully that's good. And I'm going to make sure that's tight and clean and put the cover back on it. And then we'll check and see if we got brakes. Yeah, here's my wrench. I just want to make sure that I get this thing tight enough. It's not like it's easy to get in here or anything. Of course, this isn't bad. There it is. Okay, that's tight. Cover, cover, cover. I need to find the cover. What did I do with it? Hopefully I didn't drop it. Oh, no, it's right here. Put the cover on it. Clean that with brake clean. Get all this junk off of here. and then we'll let it down, and we'll see if we got a brake pedal, hopefully. All right, let's get these wheels on here. These wheels, these got to be the lightest wheels I've ever felt. I mean, they're so light. They're like practically nothing. It's ridiculous how heavy wheels are nowadays in these mass production vehicles. These wheels, I mean, oh my God! I took this tire off with this wheel, and it was so light I almost floated into the air. It was just, it was ridiculous. It surprised me. Like, I cannot believe how light these wheels are. It just makes me think, what are they doing nowadays? Why are the wheels so heavy? Even on EVs, you would think that an EV, they would want it to be really light, but no, it's like some of the heaviest wheels are on EVs. And this center cap, where is it? The center cap. I had no idea how these things worked. I'm like, I am not gonna pry that thing off and, you know, get in trouble. I don't want to break it. So I'm like, well, it kind of seems like this thing spins. So let me try that and break it that way. And sure enough, that's how the thing locks into place. Just like that, it's in. It's good. Let's get this thing down and see if we got a brake pedal. I'm gonna get this thing off. I had already shut it off. I didn't want it to run out of fluid. Yeah, with pressure pushing in there and everything like that. Let's get this released. That off, this thing off of here. It's like an expansion plug. There it is. So see that? It's like an expansion plug that sits in there and expands, and it seals it, and then this chain goes around the entire master cylinder, hooks on here, and then you tighten it up right here, and it keeps it on. So that worked, but did this entire thing work? Was it worth it? Let's put the lid on. Reservoir is full. So, and I got brake fluid all over my hands. Let's see what this thing does. Put my foot on the brake. Yeah, it has a pedal. So it feels good. Too bad we can't drive it. You know, I mean, man, I really, I wanna see this thing run. I wanna drive it. Like I said, went ahead and quoted the customer, you know, the fuel tank, fuel pump, cleaning out the tank. I even gave him a discount on the labor because, you know, I was supposed to clean the tank out, but, you know, when you see it's that bad, you know, it's not really going to be worth it. I'm giving them an option, you know, if they want, we can pull the tank down, we can put some junk in it and try and clean it out. I just don't think it's going to be good for longevity. I don't think that we're going to get that thing clean enough. You know, if you're, you know, doing a revival on the side of the road and you need to pull the tank and you need to clean it out real quick so you can get some capacity, you know, and drive home, you know, I can understand that. But if it's something for the long term so they can drive this thing every day back and forth to work or whatever, you know, you want to make sure that it's something that's going to last. So I'm giving them the prices and we'll see what they do. And even if they do authorize it, it's going to take a while for those parts to come in. And we still need to do the slave cylinder and the clutch master cylinder, but the slave cylinder has that one hose on it, then we're going to have to replace that. Ain't no sense in even starting on that, you know. I mean, maybe we could start on that or not. So this is going to be it for this episode, we're gonna go ahead and make this a mini series. So the next time we should hopefully have parts for the fuel system, and we will get to the master cylinder and the slave cylinder and all that in the next episode. And hopefully we can hear this thing run, you know, and drive it. You know, I mean, that's what I really want. I want to drive this thing. We don't even know if the injectors, you know, are working. You know, what does the fuel line look like? Oh my God, you know. We do have a fuel filter we're going to stick in there. We're going to change the oil. You know, since it changes the oil now, we want to make sure that we get the thing running. So next time we will do that. I appreciate you. I appreciate the heck out of each and every one of you. Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.